Looking at this operational roadmap, we can divide the process of electron backscatter diffraction, or EBSD, into three distinct pillars. This powerful technique is the standard method for mapping crystallographic orientation and measuring microstructural anisotropy in material science. Capturing precise EBSD data requires strict control across three separate length scales. You have to operate the macroscopic hardware of the microscope, manage the mesoscopic geometry of the sample stage, and understand the microscopic quantum physics of electron scattering. There is a continuous dependency from one end of this pipeline to the other. Ignoring the physical constraints in any single one of these domains yields heavily distorted texture data or results in catastrophic damage to the equipment. The EBSD process occurs within the high vacuum environment of a scanning electron microscope. This diagram illustrates the hardware's vertical architecture. It starts at the top of the column inside the electron gun, where the emitter generates high-energy electrons. These are directed downward through electromagnetic condenser lenses, forcing the particles into a highly focused beam. Before reaching the sample, the beam passes through a deflection system. It uses magnetic fields to actively steer the electrons in the X and Y directions across the specimen surface. This schematic details that exact journey. High-energy electrons are pulled from the source to generate the extreme interaction volumes required for deep crystallographic analysis. The electromagnetic system precisely optimizes the beam diameter and scanning direction. While standard imaging captures low-energy secondary electrons, EBSD relies exclusively on capturing backscattered electrons that rebound out of the surface. To capture those rebounding electrons, a specialized lateral detector must be positioned near the sample. But because the macroscopic electron column is fixed vertically, adding a lateral detector introduces a severe geometric conflict at the mesoscopic scale. To direct a sufficient yield of backscattered electrons toward the EBSD detector, the sample stage must be tilted to roughly 70 degrees relative to the incident beam. Tilting a solid metallic stage to 70 degrees inside a confined vacuum chamber drastically reduces the available spatial clearance between the hardware components. This geometric constraint highlights a common novice error. Standard metallurgical sample mounts are typically 1.5 inches in diameter, but as this comparison notes, using a smaller 1.25-inch mount is strongly preferred. This graphic shows exactly why. Applying a steep 70-degree tilt to a wide 1.5-inch mount drastically increases the rotational collision radius. If the stage is driven upward while tilted, the large mount's upper edge will directly impact the electron emitter's final lens or crush the EBSD detector's delicate phosphor screen. A mechanical strike to the phosphor screen requires total system shutdown, high replacement costs, and an immediate halt to all lab operations. The engineered solution is simple. Enforcing the use of 1.25-inch mounts limits the physical sweep of the sample, providing the necessary clearance between the stage and the detector. Before pulling a vacuum, operators must physically verify that the sample surface is entirely flat and confirm the Z-height clearances to ensure the specimen cannot strike the phosphor screen. Meeting these mesoscopic geometric constraints is a strict mathematical prerequisite. Without the 70-degree tilt, the diffracted signal will never reach the detector. Once the geometry is verified, system control shifts from physical hardware placement to the orientation imaging microscopy, or OIM, software. This diagram maps how the software coordinates the electron beam with the detection hardware. During a standard imaging scan, the beam rasters continuously. But as Step 1 indicates, EBSD software commands the beam to stop and dwell at precise, discrete coordinates on the tilted sample. At each of these precisely fixed coordinates, the incident electrons penetrate deeply into the near-surface volume of the specimen. Inside the material, these incoming electrons encounter the highly ordered, repeating atomic planes that make up the crystal lattice. The physical response of these electrons is dictated by the Bragg condition. Because the electrons behave as waves, they will scatter at very specific angles determined by the exact spacing between the atomic planes. When this spacing and the incidence angle satisfy the Bragg equation, the electrons undergo elastic scattering, meaning they bounce off the lattice planes without losing their kinetic energy. These elastically scattered electrons exit the crystal structure in precise paired geometric cones, known as Kossel cones. The specimen's physical lattice acts as a natural diffraction grating. It translates its own atomic structure into precise geometric electron waves, though these waves remain invisible at this stage. High-energy electron diffraction cones cannot be directly read or processed by a standard digital sensor. The signal requires physical conversion into light. This conversion happens at the phosphor screen, which serves as the critical physical interface bridging the high vacuum environment and the digital camera. The screen functions as a scintillator. The kinetic energy of the backscattered electrons is converted into emitted photons upon impact with the phosphor coating. Here, we can see the geometric intersection of this process. The three-dimensional diffraction cones project outward from the sample and intersect with the flat plane of the phosphor screen. Because the cones are incredibly shallow, their intersection forms pairs of nearly straight, parallel lines. These are Kikuchi bands. The geometry of these bands mirrors the crystal lattice. The width between a single pair of Kikuchi bands correlates exactly to the interplanar spacing of the atoms. Furthermore, the distinct angles formed where multiple Kikuchi bands intersect reveal the overall crystallographic orientation of that specific dwell point. Now that the structural data is visible as light, a highly sensitive charge-coupled device, or CCD camera, positioned directly behind the screen, captures the photon pattern. The camera amplifies that pattern, converting the photons into a digitized electrical signal and sending it to the OEIM computer. Finally, the software runs a Hopf transform on the digitized image. This mathematical process detects the bands, calculates their intersecting angles, checks those angles against a known database, and assigns the correct Euler angles and phase data to that single coordinate. This entire physical and computational cycle repeats rapidly at thousands upon thousands of precise map, represents millions of subatomic scattering events converted into light and indexed via the Hopf transform. Extracting usable microstructural data demands strict mechanical and physical calibration across the entire hardware chain. At the macroscopic level, you must understand the SEM electron optics and maintain precise control over the incident beam. At the mesoscopic scale, you must respect the physical vacuum space, utilizing 1.25-inch mounts to achieve the mandatory 70-degree tilt while preventing hardware collisions. And at the microscopic level, you must understand the physics of Bragg diffraction and the physical transduction of electrons into photons to generate an indexable Kikuchi pattern. Operating EBSD as an integrated system of macroscopic optics, mesoscopic geometry, and microscopic crystallography allows researchers to extract the precise structural data required to evaluate advanced materials. Extracting usable microstructural data demands strict mechanical and physical calibration across the entire hardware chain. At the macroscopic level, you must understand the SEM electron optics and maintain precise control over the incident beam. At the mesoscopic scale, you must respect the physical vacuum space, utilizing 1.25-inch mounts to achieve the mandatory 70-degree tilt while preventing hardware collisions. And at the microscopic level, you must understand the physics of Bragg diffraction and the physical transduction of electrons into photons to generate an indexable Kikuchi pattern. Operating EBSD as an integrated system of macroscopic optics, mesoscopic geometry, and microscopic crystallography allows researchers to extract the precise structural data required to evaluate advanced materials.